This episode is brought to you by our Patreon members. Sign up right now, patreon.com/VVC Life. And thank you to all of the patrons that have already signed up and are supporting us right now.
Real Reviews, live and unapologetic. New episodes every Thursday at 8 at vvclife.com.
No ticket.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Let's see. I got the whole team on deck. It is beautiful to have all of these beautiful Negro faces in the building. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. So we got Dad Panther in the building. We got Iris in the building. We got the big dog Eddie Lingo in the building.
What up? What up?
It's go time, yo. Y'all, I mean, look, y'all done had time off. Dad Panther and Iris, y'all done had time off. Had all the way until last Wednesday. From last Wednesday till now, y'all. I mean, not last Wednesday. Last Thursday till now, y'all had time off. How y'all feeling?
I'm feeling good. Didn't we just do a show?
I was like on Sunday. What are you talking about?
Iris, you weren't there. You stop it.
It doesn't matter, but Ron was there. I'm defending Ron. I'm defending Ron.
Yeah, Ron was there for that one. My bad.
Yeah.
Iris
was on vacation.
Vacation while the rest of us thugged it out. You know what I'm saying?
Iris on vacation this weekend too.
Yeah, for real. Review. What did we review on Sunday?
Wait, we're not doing Sundays for the rest of February.
No, it's not Sunday. What did we do last Sunday?
We did Percy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Argyle.
Remember Argyle?
Yeah, and Argyle. That's right.
Oh,
And you went on a rant. You ranted about the end.
Oh, yeah. It seems like all these days are blending together. I don't.
Yeah, I can agree with.
Yep, 2024 blended.
Blended.
Yes.
Blended day. Man, so today we are doing a double. We're doing a double scoop of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Huh? We going old school and then we going new school. Both. I didn't remember how much I liked Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the first one. And then when I saw it, I remembered that I thought I liked it. So we're going to find out whether I still like it or whether I'm going to scream. But that's the whole purpose of you coming here, to see me, my blood pressure. Ta-da! So anyway, let's move on to talking about history in Blackness during Black History Month. Let's go.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.
Makes me want to get my twerk on. You know what I'm saying? Presenting. Don't make faces, Dad Panther. Just agree. So, all right, Eddie. Who's going? Is Iris? Eddie?
So I'm doing it today. We're gonna kick off a legend, but I'm gonna give y'all a little bit more details on what most people know about him. Everybody already knows that he's an icon in Black cinema and in cinema in general, and he has changed the game. Today we're going with Denzel Washington. Okay, now everybody knows that he's a two-time Oscar winner. He won for the Best Actor in Supporting Role for Glory, and then he also won the Best Actor in Leading Role for Training Day. Okay, but what a lot of people don't know is Denzel Washington, like it says here on the screen, has the most nominations as an African-American actor. He's got 7 nominations for Best Actor, 2 nominations for Best Supporting Actor, and he's also the first African-American actor to receive a nomination for his performance as in a Shakespeare adaptation. And, so in honor of Black history, we want to make sure we give y'all all of the in-depth and shout out all of the greats and who's changing the game and make it paving the way for future Black film in excellence.
All right. And I got just a wee little add-on because in my last show we played this, and I felt like, man, this actual person and their life kind of fits more with real reviews. Let's check it out.
So if I said, could you name the first black person to ever appear on television? Could you do it? If you guessed the iconic Ethel Waters, you'd be correct. In 1939, Ethel Waters became the first black person to ever appear on television, as well as having their own television show, The Ethel Waters Show. Waters was an accomplished singer as well as appearing on Broadway. She had hit songs like Stormy Weather, Heat Wave, that version of His Eyes on a Sparrow you always hear. Yeah, she was one of the originators of it. The show was a variety type show that featured her along with other actresses performing dramatic readings from her new play, Mamba's Daughter. She would later go on to be the second black person ever nominated for an Academy Award for her role in the movie Pinky, in which she got the director fired technically because they couldn't get along. And not only was she a trailblazer with the Ethel Waters Show, she's also the first black person to ever be nominated for an Emmy.
Take that.
Yes, sir.
Everywhere. Notice how the first black person was a woman. Who's thirsty for the camera more? Let me try to
You already know.
all right, my bad. That was messed up. All right, time to Back to the Future.
Oh, they're doing the previously thing. Do it again. Previously.
I don't know who's in this clip, but I'm hoping it's at least something serious.
I think it would have been really good to see Snoop basically coach the opposite team, because the opposite team was, they're bigger, they're stronger. You almost got the message for them that like they were from the burbs, right? They were from the suburbia type of life. And then it's always you're helping some inner city kids and they're minorities, but they don't have a place to live. They live in the trailer park. And like there's people that live in really nice neighborhoods. And I think the other thing that would have made that story so unique, or at least entertaining to someone who feels like they've seen it, is if Snoop had to be who he was and coach a completely different group of kids. I think that would have at least drew me into paying attention to it more.
I thought at some point he was going to start crying. I was like, wow, this is so, you look so like
so.
I was like, you don't sat us back, Snoop. You don't sat us back.
Look at your autofocus tripping.
Right? It didn't know what to do. Autofocus is like, what's I'm sorry. Please don't hit me.
Basically.
No, he had his blood colors on and everything, bro. He was going in. God damn. I didn't know he was a gangster. Like, God damn. I know one of him
man.
There's some street shit going on in this review. All right. Time to throw it back again, even further back than that.
They are the world's most deadly assassins. Their identities are a secret, even from each other.
So how's work?
We had a little trouble with the commission. How's Atlanta?
Are you looking for a job or something? You are the job. Had a few problems ourselves. Did you do something new?
I added peas.
Ah, peas. I love my wife, but there are times.
There's this huge space between us, and it just keeps filling up with everything that we don't say to each other.
What do you think she learned to shoot like that?
It's like it's government or something.
You've just been identified by a completing agent. How are you gonna handle it?
Let's get this going. So in 2005,
19
white people
years ago.
running amok. Really? Was it 19 years ago?
Mhm.
All right. Well, 2005, they were younger. These two actors in the prime of their lives. Everything that they were making was mid, but we love it.
Did you say mating? We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Mid. It wasn't bad. It wasn't that good. It was mid. It was a bunch of mid. And this, We don't know. Might have been a part of that mid package that they was putting out at the time. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, they were like quintessential hotness at the time. Weren't they married?
No, Jennifer Aniston was married to Brad.
Okay, gotcha.
And then they broke up after the movie and then got pregnant in the same time frame. That's why that tension we'll talk about, it was real.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I didn't even know nothing about none of that. I just remember that they was married at one point. So like
after the fact.
I stay out of Cockney business that ain't mine. So like, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, my initial impressions were I was young, so it was like cool, you know what I mean? A movie, it's action, DVDs was out at the time. I didn't see this in the theaters, but I do remember buying this in the store and quite enjoying it because at the time I'm 20 something. And the only thing I wanted to see was boobs and explosions. So like, you know, quota met kind of sort of. I don't know if there was, I don't remember seeing any nudity. So it is what it is. So what about you, Eddie?
Initial impression was I definitely wanted to see it. I was disappointed because I couldn't make it to theaters, but I was definitely looking forward to an opportunity to watch it.
Word, Dad Panther?
Same thing. I was excited, but for the reason of, like you said, it was, you know, an eye candy to look at, things blowing up. I had no clue about relationships and nothing like that. I was just there for an action movie.
Facts. Iris?
I actually got to see it in theater. I was real excited. I think I went with my homies, my homegirls during the time, and during that time. Those friends are no longer exist. But yeah, I was really excited. Yeah. Yeah. Had a Mr. and Mrs. Smith them, you know. And I was actually really, really excited because, you know, they were the hot, you know, celebrities at the time. And then of course, with the scandal happening during that same time while they were making the movie, it's like, yes, let's see what's gonna happen with these two. So yeah, at the time I enjoyed it. Then of course, when I got to see it again now recently, I was like,
I didn't know we got to that part of the review yet.
Thank you, New York Rican.
Listen.
Is it New Yorkian, like a Yorkie, or is it New York? New
Yorkian. Yes.
New Yorkian. New Yorkian. Okay. All right. So. All right, New Yorkian. Give us your highs and lows.
Okay, so highs. I would have to say the action itself, just how smooth the fighting was. For me, in my opinion, I liked how more skillful it looked. Like for example, in that scene, in the clip that you showed where he drops the bottle and she just, you know, smooth with it and she was able to catch that shit. Like I like that type of fighting style that they just seem like, oh, I got it like this. Like it's a struggle, but not really. Like I don't know. I liked that. Lows. I didn't like the cheesiness of the separate companies that they worked for. Like it just looked really thrown together. Like, hey, I'm going to my building, you're going to your building, and then we're just, you know, watching our stuff on the screens. You know, like I thought that shit was so garbage. Didn't really look like super spy espionage high tech that I think it should have looked for the quality of company that they supposedly were working for. And I have to say, I liked another high for me. I liked the dynamic of their relationship. Like that it didn't take so long to get to the point of, hey, this was our honeymoon stage. And now, boom, we're at the fuck you, we don't get along stage, even though deep down inside, we really do love each other. But there is this obvious tension because you're hiding something, I'm hiding something. And that's what's mainly causing our problems. We know we're lying. We just don't know about what yet. And I like it got to the point. So yeah, those are my my highs and lows for the movie.
All right.
Dad Panther seems so confused right now. He's like, "Did you watch the same?" His face says, "Did we watch the same movie? Is this a different movie?"
No, it's always interesting when you hear people's perspective when they, we see the same thing. So
Right. So Dad,
You just said the same thing in different words.
Yeah. Well, how he perceived the
Yeah,
movie
he is
is
such a politician, man.
yeah, basically.
So Dad Panther, what movie did you see?
the movie that I saw, I'll go with the highs. The highs of this was, again, you have two characters or two actors who were at that time, they were almost in everything that was going on, making cameos in episodes of Friends and anything that you're watching that was must-see TV. I remember, old enough to see them always on magazines in the grocery aisle. Like, they were some of the top, out there doing it. So, and literally doing it. And so watching this movie, and watching it again, the action scenes are there. I think they're decent action scenes. The production's not good in the sense of what Iris was meaning. And I think the Mr. and Mrs. Smith that we're seeing now did a better job of kind of, dealing with what they do and how the agency works. But other than that, I mean, their chemistry was great when it was great. The lows that I will say from that is there's a lot of times in the movie where they just went off of staring at each other in awkward silence. And that was enough. And I don't know if in the theater they loved it or at home at Blockbuster movies, they were like, this is great. But just that scene, that dinner scene, it's this weird kind of corniness thing that's happening, even dropping the bottle like it was Spider-Man before Spider-Man. I'm like, and some of it is witty and smooth, like the carnival games where it's like, hey, maybe I'm onto something. I know something. So, another part of it was the ending. I didn't like how it ended. I really enjoyed how the new series ended, but I didn't like how this ended. So that's what I got for Mr. and Miss Smith 2005.
Mr. Unpopular Opinion, make it unpopular.
So for me, I realized when I was watching it that I actually never really paid attention to this movie because I didn't get to see it in theaters, but I did have it running a few times while working at Blockbuster, but it was also working at the same time. So there was certain dialogue that was bringing back memories, but I realized I actually never really sat down and paid attention. So it was a new experience for me. So for me, my highs was that I like that they had a big budget and they still managed to keep within the parameters of what the story was. They didn't say, "Oh, we got so much money, let's just be ridiculously stupid." They went all out, and there was some stuff that was exaggerated, but it was tastefully done within the parameters of the story, in my opinion. Like, like I think the word I would use for the action is I think it was done. It was classy. Everything was done with class and taste. It was a certain level of maturity that they wanted to give you while being silly at the same time. And I love the balance, which is something that JS1 and I talked about the other day, is how nobody knows how to have balance with the story. If it takes a serious tone, they forget that it's a comedy. But this one, it managed to give you both that funny and that serious all the way through. So it was just nothing but highs for me. And then, of course, both of them beautiful to look at. Pause. I know, no homo, whatever you want to hear. But but still, it was just a joy to watch them on screen. For me, I understand what you guys are saying about the technology, but that's one thing I always notice when you go back. Like, if you guys go back and watch first season of 24, it was a dark room with two computers and a server in the background with 4 lights. That was it. And each year they got more money, it got better. So when we go back 19 years to see the technology for the agency, it seemed within reason to me. So I don't have no issues with that. Honestly, I don't really have any complaints. I thought it was a cool ride. I thought it knew when to be funny and not take itself too seriously, and it didn't overdo the budget. That's how I feel.
Word. I'm everything that all of you guys said, I agree with. I feel like the only thing that kind of the thing that kind of threw me out of the film now is that all of our films seem to have psychologists attached to it to further make characters deeper. So like when you go back 20 years and you see these two characters and they're like, my 2024 brain goes, there's no way y'all should not know that you guys are spies. Like, you should pick up on their habits. You should just know, You know what I mean? You wouldn't just think my wife is just a secretive person or she's just, particular. It's like, no, you'd be like, bitch, you are way too ABC, X, Y, and Z. Even if you're trying to play it off, I'm going to pick up on it. Even as a Snoopy type of a spy, I feels like is a type of person that has a million questions. So even if she says she's working at this particular place, you might just pull up one day or be whatever. And even though they try to answer some of these questions in the film to try to, it still didn't go for me. That didn't take it away. I had to be like Eddie, where it's like learning to accept content for where it is. If not, I would never enjoy anything before, 2016 or whatever. So I loved it. I'm the same as Eddie. I love the film. I love the balance. I loved seeing both of them when they were young, because sometimes I don't remember why I like Brad Pitt or why I like Angelina Jolie. And to this day, I still don't really like Angelina Jolie, but in this film, I think both of them did a great job. There's so much chemistry between them, whether it's, vaginal juices or whatever, like there is a lot of energy between the two of them, and it really makes it way more believable. Like, you can feel the love tonight and all that goodness. Like it did it for me. Downs, like I said, the only thing is, not believing that they wouldn't know that each other is spies. That's the only thing. The over the topness from time to time, because I was like, did you really have to blow the house up? Like, we didn't have to blow the whole. It's just stuff that that's what we did 20 years ago. Like, that was defined as big this action. That's what big action was. But now in 2024, you'd be like, we didn't have to blow the whole house up. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. I loved it. It was good. So all right, let's get into the question now. Is it a classic? Is it a good watch? Is it catch on streaming? Is it not doing it for me? Is it? Oh, hell no! Or if you ever show me this again, I will. All righty then. So, Madame Iris, New Yorican, please, can you give us your rating?
I would say it's a good watch. It is a good watch. I do enjoy it. And I think it just has to do mainly with our main characters. Like, it's about them. They make the movie, and the chemistry and the tension between them, you can really feel it. So, I really do think it's a good watch.
Okay.
Give it a couple more years, I'll probably make it a classic.
Oh.
But right now, it's a good watch.
Good job, Brad. All right. Dad Panther, is it a classic? Is it a good watch? Is it a catch on streaming? Is it not doing it for me? Is it? Oh, hell no! Or if you ever show me this ever again, I will. All right.
I know. I have no clue what I'm saying right now. I'm going to say it's a classic.
Okay.
I'm saying it's a classic. Again, faults from the 19 years, whatever the case is, but these two on screen captured at a moment right now where the storyline is and was a good movie, or our storyline in general. We've seen it done multiple times, and we talked about role play in other movies and shows and series. This did a really good job of that dynamic, to the point of, again, we're having a conversation of the series being done again. So again, I think the storyline was good. I think these two actors did a great job in it. It wasn't too flashy. They knew exactly what realm to kind of play in. You can still watch it right now, whether it's the first time or you've seen it before. So I would say this movie is a classic. It kind of makes me want to go revisit like Mr. Brooks or something like that, and hope they, bring life into that. So,
Mr. Brooks was the shit.
Yeah, we should have got a sequel.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed that. Eddie, what are you thinking? What is your review? Classic, good watch, catch on streaming, da-da-da-da.
I'm gonna have to go with a good watch. I was teetering on classic, but
I will co-sign Big Dog over there and say good watch, and the Queen Yorikian. And so yeah. And even though Dad Panther, I'm right there with you. It is the definition of, when we talk about Hollywood films, Hollywood blockbuster, it is completely that. It is the template for all of the blockbuster joints that we see now that are failing. I feel like Whatever. Let's move on. I don't even want to get into it. I'll be sitting here talking forever. Let's get into the news. We got a lot of All right. Let's get to this first little piece of something right here.
We need to talk about this new Beetlejuice 2 poster that came out like 20 minutes ago because it came with 2 big reveals for the movie. If you follow me, you know I love movie posters, and I just gotta say, this is one of the most creative pieces of marketing that you will see coming out of this movie. First things first, we got the date, but it's the way the date's shown that got me really geeked out. Because they put it on a ticket similar to the ticket that you get in the underworld when you're waiting for your appointment after you die. Obviously a callback to the first movie where the number that Beetlejuice and the main characters get is ridiculously long. No, y'all, this is where the marketing cooks. This is it. The title of the movie is not Beetlejuice 2. It's simply Beetlejuice. It's genius on so many levels, but the big one is that it plays perfectly into the trope of calling Beetlejuice's name 3 times, and a lot of times the characters stop you after 2. Most movies try to cleverly insert a 2 into the title, looking at you, Too Fast, Too Furious. This one works as an iconic quote, a stand-in for the number 2, and it builds anticipation for the movie itself because Beetlejuice is literally coming. And what's also great is that when it comes to the hashtag, instead of simply saying hashtag Beetlejuice 2, they just put 2 hashtags of Beetlejuice. Whoever's in charge of marketing or whoever came up with the title, 100% cooking right now. Cooking.
Somebody's really a Beetlejuice fan. Him.
Yeah, absolutely.
That guy is a Beetlejuice fan. Shout out to, I think his name is Goofy Straw, something. So that is his name, not me making fun of him. I'm saying.
All right.
All right. Let's move on. First look at a Roger M. Bob and Hallmark's Mahogany's adaptation of Jane Austen's Sense and Sensibilities. Look at this. Black people dressed up. Look at that. Wealth, abundance. Look at that. Sexiness, hair. Look at that. Slaves, greatness. Huh? Don't you love it, huh? You love it. Look at that. Black people. Iris, come on now. You know,
yes, I love it. I do. I cannot wait. I'm so excited to see this. I myself have seen all the makings of Sense and Sensibility movies, read the book. I am a Jane Austen fan. I like, of course, novels. They do well with the movies, but I'm a big reader. So I love Jane Austen. So I am excited to see this. Really.
So if you had to choose between Sense and Sensibilities or Pride and Prejudice, which one you picking?
Oh, Pride and Prejudice all day.
Oh, I'm fucking with you. You just earned 20 cool points off of that one. All right. You was that down for real. I was trying to stump you for real. I ain't gonna front. All right, let's move on. All right, Danielle Brooks, Hollyberry, in Kaika Okoro, Carol, and stars Catherine Busby, named Essence Black Women in Hollywood honorees. And why is Method Man on there? That's weird. Okay, shout out to him though.
That is a weird cut for them to put him in there. Like, shout out to that brother. He doing and been doing it for years, but
got him all sophisticated and shit in the corner. Like,
ain't he fine with him? Oh man, they just did that for Black women to gush over. Okay, all right, cool. Will Packer Media Kinetic Content to develop Tia Williams' 7 Days in June, a series for Prime Video. Felicia Pride serving as writer and showrunner, and Ivy Grant serving as a consultant. Don't know who you guys are, but I love the way y'all look. Shout out to y'all. All right. Let's mix it up a little bit more.
Welcome to Oscar.
Where are we going?
It's something blue.
Oh, Blake Lanier.
Race has nothing to do with it.
1912, Oscarville, Georgia.
You stand above what was taken from us as people.
Did you take your medicine?
I did.
Never would have thought someone like you would be able to do all this.
Swear, there's someone out there.
No! continue to adventure.
I just want people to know what they're swimming in.
Wow.
I had no idea.
Wow. Like it's like I don't know what the hell I just saw, but that looks amazing. Are we killing white folk in here?
I believe
I
that's
think
exactly
so.
what's going
I
We're killing
believe so.
everybody.
So let me stop. That's fucked up. All right.
Don't smile too hard about that, you guys.
There is some racist components to it. Let's get
Another
to it.
movie that's racist against white people. We should ship y'all and your wokeness back to where you came from. Typical lying movie, trying to pass it off as real events. F***ing joke. This movie is just a sad attempt by Trader Biden's and Obama's liberal sissies to control a narrative and brainwash everyone into thinking that blacks deserve more than the rest of us. Disgusting attempt and a huge fail. I can't believe I'm saying this, y'all, but these are just some of the comments that we've been getting from white racists over our movie. First and foremost, there is no return on stolen goods. People that look just like me, my ancestors back in the day, did not want to come here to America. They were forced to come here. So much more I want to say, but we did our thing by telling the story of a once thriving black community. Y'all make sure y'all go support Lanier on Amazon, and let's let success be our noise to shut down these racists.
That's a gangster way to get some money in my nigga. Now I got to buy it. You know what I mean?
Right. I was just thinking the same thing. I'm gonna buy it. I'm not gonna watch it, but I'm definitely gonna give him the money.
Yeah, and just one. I loved the whole thing, except I don't think him shooting that in his bathroom was a good idea, because you can see the ass air freshener on the top there and stuff, and it's like it's bad enough you're in the robe, but it's like it looks like you're sitting on the toilet while you're telling us this. You're ruining the seriousness, the seriousness of this movie because we all want to watch it. But you telling us all of this from your bathroom.
Yeah, I want to watch it. I'm not a fan of like horror movies and stuff like that, but you ain't gonna play me off. This ain't the Oscars. The whole idea of, again, this is a true story. If you've ever seen like Rosewood, where you have it in history where they just completely remove a whole city and they put a lake. They just put a lake. Do the research yourself. So I would watch it because I'm not a fan of horror movies, but I want to support. And it's similar to Candyman. There's a true story that's in there with some horror. And I'll go see that kind of trauma.
Yeah. Well, I love horror movies, all of them. So.
All right. I think we're clear to move on.
Streaming Whilst Black, September the 8th, has been renewed for Showtime Paramount Plus.
Streaming Whilst Black. Didn't we watch it? Didn't we watch the trailer for that a while back?
That is a good question. I don't know. I've never heard of this. And
I have heard of this show.
I've heard of it.
I must have failed in black class. But I'll find it and we might be able to watch it. Just want to throw something funny out here.
What?
Why?
Stop it.
Why?
Is that Michael?
I mean,
that's awesome.
Oh, good Lord.
I love it. I love it.
Lord.
All right. Who's your pick for the DCU Batman? Alan Ritchson, I hope I'm saying it right, or Jason Ackles? Jason Ackles doesn't look big enough. Pause, no homo. And I definitely, anybody that plays Reacher definitely should play Batman, because technically they're the same guy. Just one has a bat outfit and billions of dollars, and the other one is homeless in the streets just catching buses.
Yeah, and the other one ain't scared to get laid. Yeah, so
facts.
Oh, he was. Yeah, he 9 to 5. He was getting laid.
Pick, so I don't even gotta say it.
I would say neither.
What?
Oh,
you
got another recommendation?
No, I just go with somebody who we've never seen. Go with somebody we've never seen.
Alan. It's Alan.
Let the script be the main thing.
Ron, stop. Alan.
I get her vote. I'm just saying.
Yeah, yeah. What about you, JS? You got a vote on those two?
Man.
You just said it.
Alan. Yeah, I said I'm cool with it.
I would also say Alan.
her reasons, but I mean,
Yeah, she doesn't want him to wear a suit, just the ears, just the top, and it's just him standing there. I'll save you.
She don't want that. She just
I
want
don't
him.
want that shit neither. It's just like,
Give me that batarang.
Well, she wants to wear Timberlands. You know what I'm saying? Some butters. You know, that's it.
I'm Batman's son. He got his Timbs on the back. I'm Batman's son.
white tank top.
Look,
just
she is
some
living the
Levi's,
dream
Right.
right now.
just
Newports, smoking on a pack of Newports.
Nah, he
Freaking.
don't smoke.
You know.
That's not cute.
Oh my God. All right. So let's turn the cuteness level up by 300. All right. Y'all ready?
Hi, I'm Franklin. I've lived in a lot of different places. My family's always on the move. This was it. Our new town. Do you want to have... Excuse me. Making new friends can be hard. I'm Franklin Armstrong. My name is Charlie Brown. The big soapbox derby race is coming to town. The winning team gets a trophy and free pizza for a whole year. What do you think, Charlie Brown? Partners? Partners. Hey, Franklin, what kind of music do you like? The godfather of soul, James Brown. You're not related, are you? I don't believe so. My grandpa always says you gotta want it to get it. Let's see what we can really do. Friendships are not perfect, but we can get through the rough spots together. That's
That's so cute. All right. So playing off of our childhood nostalgia, we have just experienced a trailer for the mysterious black character that was a part of the Charlie Brown universe, who has always been not really treated with any level of respect. So I would felt it to be a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful little thing for them to pluck this little Negro out of obscurity and create a world for him and to get him a storyline. And thank you so much. I think that, to me, ladies and gentlemen, that's how you do Black history right. That's how you treat Black people good. You just take some stuff, and just make something nice out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
Live and learn, Cockneys. All righty.
Wait, okay. Well, just quickly, Franklin, the Peanut cast was all white. The civil rights movement was happening, and the creator Charles wanted to support, so he made Franklin to add to this. So there's some allies out there.
Yeah.
There you go. Shout out to the allies, baby.
Yeah.
All right.
And to be honest, he did do one white character on his little peanut grew kind of fucked up. Like, I mean, look at Pigpen. That motherfucker's always barefoot and dirty. like if anybody's being like, what would you want to be? Barefoot and dirty with lines, or the token Black person that at least is clean cut and always fly with no lines? I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to be the dirty motherfucker with no shoes on.
Hold on.
Just saying.
Can I end this segment on a positive? We started with a positive, y'all took it right back negative. Let me end this segment on a positive. I love the fact that they gave us this. They try to keep it as classic as possible while giving us this new story instead of trying to reinvent it and modernize it and make it all woke, things of that nature. So I'm actually really looking forward to this.
Well, we haven't seen it. We don't know what woke shit could be in it. Let's not.
All right.
I want to see it.
All right, rein it in, Iris. Rein it in. All right.
Just ruin my positivity. Let's go.
All right. And I wanted to be known that Dad Panther's catchline says, "You're ammo-sexual, Dad." What? All right, let's go.
I'm Jay.
I'm John.
Love and happiness.
Banking card and marriage registration.
Something that can make you do
We're married.
Yes, so bad. Make you do right.
They didn't bring up that we'd be paired until the last interview.
It's an old KGB tactic. You draw less attention as a couple.
Very romantic.
What is it that you two do?
We're software engineers. Administer single dose, no casualties.
What? You think if the company hadn't matched you, you'd be compatible?
You're sitting underneath a shelter I made. I made this fire. I got you this fish.
Shelter, food, fire, water. No.
Maybe.
Oh my God. When I saw this come onto the streaming platform, I immediately canceled everything for this week's show to make sure that we reviewed this. I am a huge Donald Glover fan, all the way back to when he had his little improv group or whatever he used to do on YouTube. I've followed him since that, and I've followed his whole career, all of the music, all of the acting pieces. Some things land, some things don't, you know what I'm saying, when it came down to film. But as a comedian, he's always been fire. As a musician, he's always been fire. And I feel like every time I've seen him, it's just another level of growth. So I was always like, yo, I want to see this show, because once again, we already established that Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the movie, was fire. So I'm like, yo, you got a dope IP mixed with my guy. I'm with it. And he's married to an Asian chick. I thought that was completely unique, man. Like, dope idea, dope concept all the way around. Eddie, what did you think about the initial impression?
Initial impression, I definitely was excited about it. I had the wrong idea of if it related to 2005 movie night, and Iris has set me straight on an episode. Go back and watch that if y'all want to see me get checked, and apologize to Iris live on TV. But I was super excited to get into this series.
All right, Dad Panther, where you at with it, player?
Very excited. As soon as I saw the music, the look, it just seemed sophisticated and classy at the same time, and been a fan of Mr. Glover's work for quite some time.
All right. And Miss Iris, how did you feel like in the initial impression?
Yes, I was excited. I was curious to know how they were going to take the Mr. and Mrs. storyline and make it their own. And I was just really excited just to check it out.
Word. I just would like it to be noted again that Dad Panther has changed it from amosexual dad to pew pew. All right. So I guess he wanted to create something a little bit more public presentable, because amosexual dad wasn't.
No, I wanted the reaction. I got the reaction. If you don't know what it is and you Google it, that's probably the best part of the day.
Okay. This was up. All right. So since you like to change your stuff a lot, let's just go ahead and let you start. Give me your highs and lows.
Oh man, I'm gonna go with the lows. The lows was the fact that this is it. It ended.
That is a fact.
That, I mean, you don't want it to stop. There's not much I can say about this that's negative. I think they did a great job with the shooting of it, but the idea of the fact that it's over, the way that it ended, I'm not going to do any spoilers, but the way that they ended this, they can continue to go with other Mr. and Mrs. Smith. But I just think the way it is, it's done. And that's the bad part. The great things that I liked about it, the music, the therapist was having a conversation where she mentioned where she got something, and it was very prestigious of or how she was, like she was better than everybody else. And they used that song on the next scene. There's some callbacks from the original Mr. and Mrs. Smith with the choking device, from somebody else they did a hit on, but it was smooth, and it was real. Like episode 6, it was just that camping scene was just real. The stories they told, not just with the words, but just the settings. Like again, that therapy scene where it starts off bright and sunny and then just starts getting darker and they go further away from each other. I just thought it was beautiful. Yeah, they didn't miss on this.
Most definitely, sir. Iris, let's go.
Okay, so highs for me, I would have to say everything. It was so good. I was so immersed, and I so loved the storyline, and I loved how it was different from the original Mr. and Mrs. Smith. That characters don't know each other is a spy, but they know they're spy. They're paired together, and then you see how the relationship goes from, of course, honeymoon stage, and then the tension, from being together for so long, and just basically the trials that they go through in their relationship, um as their marriage, which is supposed to be just a facade, but of course it ends up being more because you're with this person day in and day out, and basically, you got to have each other's backs. It's like that is your ride or die. you know so um like from the scenes, and I loved the action scenes, and I felt like I like the more smooth fighting. Don't get me wrong, I like that type of cheesy fighting where it just seems so perfect, but I just enjoyed the real the realization of the fighting in this one, like the struggle it is. It's not, you can know all this martial arts, but hey, fighting another person, especially if they're bigger, taller, way more, it's a struggle. So seeing that dynamic in the fight scenes, and one of my favorite things that I really really liked is the play with their outfits, um and how the outfits, that the characters are wearing are chosen, you know in connection with the scene. And I don't want to share any spoilers, but I liked toward the end of the series how you see he's a black man wearing somewhat of an all off white outfit. And then, of course, she's an Asian woman wearing an all black outfit. Um, I know you might think it's silly, but I kind of liked the connection and the play with that toward the end of the series, and so I loved it. I loved every bit of it, and I am so excited to see what comes next. And my only low, like Ron had said, was that that it freaking ended, and it just how it leaves you, and you're just like, oh, I know more is gonna come, but I want to know what happened. so yeah, I loved it. I'm very excited to see what happens next.
I'm glad we won her over. My main concern was, is Iris gonna like this? And I really had that concern. I was like, yo, she might walk away with this on some fuck that shit. But I'm super happy that you enjoyed it, man. Like, yo, Eddie, take it away.
Yeah, so I you guys saying stuff that got my head all over the place. I already knew exactly what I was gonna say. Now I'm like, oh yeah. I want to harp on that. So I'm gonna try and bring it all in. But highs for me, I thought it was definitely beautifully shot, well done. I thought that the acting was great. I thought that the possibility I actually liked for me, the way it ended and the things that it revealed, because now they have options. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to say anything more than that because I don't want to spoil anything. But there are options if there's another season, and then there are also possibilities of seeing more of the organization or other people in this same scenario. I love the simplicity of the use of technology of the agency. I love the I love the actual the interaction between them and the chemistry when they were thinking on their feet. And every time they were in a situation, they had to kind of go with it. Now that's going to also lead me into my lows. My lows for this is that number one, I understand that they want to focus on showing the problems with the couple and how things changed over the years and the argument. But I would have liked a little bit more of in that same time span. Give us a quick little montage, whatever, of just showing them actually training and becoming better at what they were doing, because the way it felt for me, and I could be wrong, but the way the first episode felt for me, Jane came in there like Percy Jackson. And so for some reason she was a badass by the end of it. And I wanted to see that transition, not just be told on it. You know what I'm saying? And I understood that Mr. Smith, John, was former military, but I still don't know to what degree his expertise, how it was really going to play in. I know that he early on was comfortable with the guns and stuff, but I wanted to see not only them progress or train or become more dangerous or more comfortable in their jobs. I wanted to see them also become more of a, well, they weren't a cohesive unit. Now, I guess that was what that's what they really focused on. Like, they were able to get stuff done, but they weren't a cohesive unit. But I wanted to see a little bit more positives. The decisions that some of them were making, in my opinion, didn't match up. It felt like they were forcing issues, certain reactions. You know how in one episode they can deliver something, people die, they don't know if they have family or not, but then in another episode you want to break the rules because somebody's a mom. Stuff like that was really bothering me as a writer. Like, hey, you know, you guys got into this knowing this a no ask questions type situations, and you gotta separate your morals. The job is the job. And then but that you know, I don't want to spoil again. I was about to get into something else, but there were certain attachments that weren't let go of that I thought was very irresponsible. And in my opinion, when things went left, that's the first place that would have gone south, in my opinion. So the writing fell short there. And I'm glad, though. I like that character. I'm glad nothing happened to that person's character. But in reality, if the agency is paying attention as much as they say, that attachment that one character wasn't willing to let go of would have definitely been vulnerable and more of a consequence for that decision. And then lastly, I don't know, it's not really a negative, but this is definitely a show that I had to, because I was tired. I was running around filming all weekend and then working and then trying to squeeze this in. And once that jealousy and the stupid arguments and the pettiness started, I got annoyed and I didn't want to watch it anymore. So I had to go, stop, get some sleep, come back, peace of mind, so I could actually focus and understand what they're trying to sell me, because I don't have patience for that in the real life, but I had to have patience for it in this, and I'm glad I did. So I just want to put it out there to people. If you're one of those people that have to be in the mood to watch something, don't go into this with any baggage. Don't go into this already having some issues. It's going to trigger you, and you're not going to be able to fully enjoy the quality of the product and the writing that you're getting. So I got.
Yo, my nigga. Yeah. I'm starting right where you finished, sir. Triggered like a motherfucker. Like, there were so many scenes where I'm like flashing back to real like relationship moments, and I'm like, nigga, like, even man, I'm gonna try to do this. First of all, I've decided we gotta do a spoiler conversation of this.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff that I want to talk about with y'all, but wow, like that to me, and I always have to remind myself, what is the definition of a great piece of art, or a great film or a great TV show? And that is to generate emotions. Like, it is to draw you into a story, make you fall in love with characters, make you hate characters, make you want to come back, make you want to spend more time in this world. And it does that in spades. Like, everything about this show is everything that I love about filmmaking. Great characters, great story, tension. It's sleek, it's sexy. Like, all the characters dress. This is not the black man from the hood. Yeah, son, with the gat black. It ain't none of that shit. Like, Donald Glover is an intelligent, sophisticated, educated black man who is in control and handles his motherfucking business. Does not bring any hood shit to the scene. Doesn't dress hood. There's no semblance of that as a part of this. I mean, there is his appreciation for hip hop, but it is an appreciation for hip hop, it's not something that he has to don as a physical characteristic. Same thing with the young lady. She's Japanese, but it's not like she's got to have the Japanese everything on. She got to wear a kimono and it doesn't. These are characters. They're not caricatures. I love that. Mm-hmm. And I love that it's a mystery about the company that you don't know much. You see a laptop, there's a couple little elements here and there, but you don't really know. You don't even really know who the bad guys are. And you know what? That's what makes the show even better, because your heart is pumping in so many different scenes because you're an existing, it's almost like they put you in the world with the spies. And as much as they don't know, you don't know. So you are running, you're being chased, you're shooting, you're killing, and there's never any understanding of, there's no clear lines between good guy and bad guy. There isn't the bad guys wear black and good guys wear white. And it's not like that. It's a very gray world that they live in, and it makes it so beautiful. And there are so many mistakes made, but to me, I define them as beautiful mistakes. From, you know, finding another killer to confide in, like that's crazy. Like, you know, or, you know, dragging in individuals that you shouldn't have nowhere near you, you know, I mean, but because these are human beings, because these people are going through these highly intense emotional lives, you know what I mean? Because there are moments when it's just like, motherfuckers is like, yo, y'all gotta stop this shit. This is gonna kill you. And there's no, I mean, it's just so much. There's so much about this. So I loved it. Lastly, I would like to say, I've been waiting to say this since I finished the show. Donald Glover just showed me what the fuck I should have seen in Tenet. He is the definition of a leading man. He's the definition of a leading man. He's physically altered himself to beef up his physical appearance. He's not over the top. He's charming in the most like unusual way. Like he is, like, I'm watching him and I'm like, you one charming motherfucker, but it's not intentional. It's just him, you know, he's just cool and knowledgeable, and you know, he's learned how to take advantage of moments, and like, you know what I mean? And to the point where oh, I can't even get into it till we do the spoiler talk. Like, I'm watching him, and the whole time I'm like, bro, yeah, this is why we not using him for the big blockbuster stuff. Like, no, he knows what he's doing. I don't know if Han Solo threw people off because him coming in, you know, as whatever, but I mean, like, this really, to me, took him to a different level. Emotional depth, you know, physical dexterity, you know what I'm saying, commitment to character. I mean, like, everything's there. This is a award-winning performance from a truly great actor. And that young lady that played in it, she is phenomenal herself. Like, just the, what is the word for it? Like, they go through every emotion during this joint, you know, from extreme happiness to being super in love to hating each other to being snide and being assholes and then being sweet. And like, you, I mean, you really, I feel like this show, those two main characters have to display so many variations of themselves. I think it's just like, bro, like, this, who else does this? Like, this is crazy. Yeah, a phenomenal show. And I every person I talk to, I've been saying, whatever you watching, fuck that shit. Put on Mr. and Mrs. Smith. You've got to watch, especially if you're in a relationship. Watch this. You know what I mean? Not necessarily because I don't necessarily feel like, man, I think I might have to take that back, because I don't want somebody to break up watching this, because I really feel like it could cause tension between the two people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if you have a strong relationship and y'all know who y'all are, I feel like this is something that you guys can watch and then laugh at each other and be like, remember we was like that? We was babies. You know what I'm saying? Like, it also forces you to look at yourself and see who am I in this relationship? Am I this person? Am I that person? You know what I mean? Am I submissive? Am I controlling? And how does that come out? How is that displayed in my everyday actions? Like, you know, am I really appreciating my partner? Am I not? I mean, there are so many, it's so many layers to this show that, like, Iris made the statement about, yo, if this is over, I love to see the next couple. I, in my mind, haven't even gotten to that point. That's crazy, because when she said that, I'm like, oh shit, I never thought about them putting different people in there, because they started the shows a certain way, and that does kind of lend to that theory. But to me, I felt like, no, they not dead, because I want to see them live and I want to see them come out of this. I don't know if it's going to happen, but, like, you know what I'm saying? But There's
That's
so
not what I
many. Well, I'm sorry. Either you or Dad.
I pointed out that they had options. Yeah, they can show either show either other Mr. and Miss Smith, or they can bring them back. That was what I liked about the ending. But anyway,
yeah, and I said that this season should be the end, and they should, if they want to keep going, new couples.
Word. You want to put some money on that, Iris?
No.
Okay. No.
No, but what I did want to add to what you were saying in regards to couples watching this, I feel like as a woman, I feel like it is a very good opportunity for other women to realize that sometimes they can be very selfish. They don't pay attention to the value that their partner and their man are contributing, or it's never good enough. And the fact that, yes, he's a man, and yes, men in society are expected to, be machismo and shit like that. But your partner has feelings too. Why can't you value your partner the same way you want him to value how you feel and your feelings and what you need out of the relationship? So I think that is a very good visual representation for women to watch.
Let me piggyback on that. I'm actually glad, Iris, that that's the perspective you got from it, because the reason it made me so angry is because they never really gave you a definite who's right or who's wrong. And I thought that was genius in the way they wrote it. And I can see a bunch of women seeing her perspective and getting angry with her and not even trying to see what you pulled from it. And which was frustrating me, because I wanted there to be some closure, be like, who's right, who's wrong, prove it. But it was just like we're both just and there was never any resolution. It was driving me crazy. So I'm glad you got that out of that, but it's going to be interesting to see what people pull from it.
I honestly, as a woman, wanted to punch her in the face. I was like, you selfish bitch. Like, he built fucking shelter. I would like to see your ass built a fucking shelter. Okay? You whiny bitch. You don't deserve nothing.
That shelter is
you nothing. Need a new motherfucking Mrs. Smith. Like,
the man is in construction. He was like, it wasn't the best.
I was like,
that ain't nothing. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in the show. That is the least little thing that he has done.
Yeah.
Lady.
Yeah, but I don't want to pull out spoilers because there were multiple times that he really tried to show his appreciation for her, his love for her. Even when it came to a certain furry thing that motherfuckers don't like, but he dealt with it for her.
Right.
And he didn't have to. But you can't deal with my extra that I can't let go of.
Oof, man.
Okay?
I know so much you want to say behind that, right? But he's like,
exactly. Like I want to, but I'm telling you, like, in my opinion, I understood some of her points, that he was kind of sloppy with certain things, like he wasn't using his head with certain things. Yeah, I understand that when it came to some things. But I really felt like in all of their fights, she was wrong. Like, on a good majority, I was like, you fucking bitch. Somebody just punch her in the face.
Iris, I'm begging you. Spoil the conversation.
Save it for them.
Yeah, because you're making me want to respond. And I'm like, I can't, because I'm going to end up ruining the whole show. The only thing I can tell y'all is I think we can all agree that this is a classic body of work. Can we all agree?
1,000%.
It's only Dad Panther who is not moving his head at all. Okay,
he's worried about his autofocus.
I'm just watching. I'm just enjoying what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing.
You're watching, but you're looking in a different direction. At least
this is where I have to adjust that. This is where, if I'm gonna look at you guys, this is what I see.
Is this a classic, sir? Yes or no?
Yeah, I believe it's a classic.
All right, thank you. That's all.
Right, thank you.
All right. I want to talk about this goddamn show, but we're going to move on. All right. Trailer time. Oh, yeah. It's called Parish.
My game is back from my family. For them.
I'm in need of a driver with a particular set of skills.
Yeah, I can drive. Who are these people?
They human traffickers, man. Most men, when they get out, they dip their toes back in after a couple of months.
That's your job. I am out.
What the hell is Dad into?
Before I met your mother, I led a different kind of life.
Parish. In a long time.
Am I a good man?
You think you can control everything?
That was not my fault, mate.
We'll get us out of this. He needs to pay for what he did. I had no choice.
You always have your choice.
I'm tired of being the passenger in my own life.
Am I a good man? Am I a good man?
What's up with old black men becoming action stars? What's going on with that? Yeah, that was pretty interesting. I didn't see that coming at all. Iris, how you think about it? What you think?
I like Giancarlo Espinosa.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Esposito. I'm sorry, said his last name wrong. Esposito. So I'm excited to see how they go with this movie. If I hope it's not like Transporter, you know. I hope they give us a little more. So, we'll see what happens. I mean, but Giancarlo is a really good actor. I feel like sometimes he doesn't get the hype that he deserves because not only does he do television movies, he's also in video games. So, like, my man is the whole package. So, I'll give it a chance,
It's a series.
Oh, it's a whole series.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just gonna be a movie, but all right, we'll see how it goes. Boo boo.
All right, let's move on to our last trailer for today. The Signal.
Da draußen ist nichts.
Hello?
Gibt Dinge, die sind größer als wir.
Warum gefällt es Mama nicht auf der Erde?
Wie kommst du darauf?
Das gebraucht ihn.
If it's not English speaking, we're not watching it. It's out of here. So let me see. Is this like Netflix France or something? No, this is regular Netflix. That's crazy. I apologize, guys. I didn't mean to throw that in there.
Yeah. They've been doing that a lot lately, though.
Yep.
Bringing us foreign movies. If they're really that good, they'll and then they put like the English subtitles. So it might be really good. You never know.
Well, I'll never know. Let's do an English dub. That's a wrap.
So they tell me, I got you.
As much content that's out here, man, I do not have the time. I'm just not a big fan of sitting there reading subtitles. That's just not
only
my
do
thing.
that for anime.
I only did it for like old school like karate films and shit, but I'm definitely not doing it for no cartoons. Kiss my ass. All right. With that being said, man, we appreciate everybody for tuning in, for having dealing with us for a whole hour and 9 minutes. Everybody got their shout outs. Come on now, Dad Panther, say something nice to the people.
Nice to the people.
All
but
right.
wait. You said it. I was checking. Apparently, that's a German film. So I was thinking the same thing. Maybe it was something you had clicked the wrong link, but no. Apparently, it's German. It's going to be on there. But yeah.
Thanks.
Have a great day.
All right, Iris. Shout outs.
Yes. To our beautiful audience, I just want to wish everyone a happy Black History Month. Do something special. Post something special. Log on to Patreon. Please watch us. That could be your something special for Black History Month. Okay. So that is my piece. That is all I'm going to say. But I loves you. Please log on.
All right. Movie lingo.
Listen, I want to shout you guys out for holding it down while I've been away trying to make us millions. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed rewatching those shows. Definitely want everybody to check us out. Next week is Valentine's Day, if y'all don't know. And next week, Friday, on the 16th for Black Watch Theater, we are watching Boomerang. Eddie Murphy, Halle Berry. Y'all need to get with us. If you're not part of Patreon, get your 7-day free trial. You can watch it. And tell you, it's worth it. Yeah, it's gonna be such a good watch.
Boomerang.
Don't forget your toe picks, you guys.
Crazy. I need a date. I gotta go find somebody, man. I gotta find somebody. I gotta fall in love in the next 5 days.
Let's do it.
I got cursed out in the DMs the other day, so it's all good. That's not gonna happen anytime soon. Sorry, then. We're out of here. We love you guys. We'll check you next week. Real Reviews out.
No ticket.